good day everyone, especially to Dr. Idmark Ayan Cabio. By the way, my name is Lito M. Obido, taking up Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in English of Negros Oriental State University. So in this video, I will be reporting about a topic entitled Organizational Climate of School. To understand what the organizational climate definition is, we should begin by reading an interpretation from one of the most respected authors on human resources, Professor Idalberto Chavinato. According to him, a set of measurable properties of the perceived worked environment, directly or indirectly, created by individuals who lived and worked in this environment, and that influences the motivation and behavior of these people. In this definition of organizational climate, we can note two striking features. First one is the organizational climate is a concept perceived by employees. Importantly, it is dependent on a value judgment which can vary greatly from person to person. Another one, number two, the organizational climate affects productivity, motivation, and employee behavior. Besides these two factors, it is interesting to note some others to understand fully what the organizational climate definition is. An organizational climate definition and what are the main features. So, organizational climate refers to how employees perceived and interpret the overall work environment in which they operate. It includes their subjective experiences, beliefs, and impressions of the workplace. It is a psychological atmosphere. That means to say, organizational climate is often described as the psychological atmosphere or ambience within an organization. It encompasses the prevailing attitudes, values, and norms that influence employee behavior and interactions. It is a quick picture of the relationship between the organization and its employees. The organizational climate provides a snapshot or overview of the relationship between the organization and its employees. It reflects the quality of communication, trust, support, and cooperation between the two parties. It is a set of properties that can be measured by the correct instrument. Organizational climate can be measured using specific instruments or surveys designed to assess various aspects of the work environment. This instrument helps quantify employees' perceptions and provides objective data about the organizational climate. Moving on to the organizational climate or the definition of organizational climate. So, is concerned with a large unit, it characterizes properties of an entire organization of major subunits. And this point suggests that organizational climate is not focused on individuals, departments, or small teams within an organization, and instead it looks at the overall characteristics and properties of the entire organization or significant subunits within it. It takes into account the collective experiences, values, and practice that shapes the organization as a whole. Describes a unit of organization rather than evaluates it or indicates emotional reaction to it. Meaning to say, organizational climate is not about evaluating or judging the organization or expressing an emotional reactions to it. It is primarily a descriptive concept that seeks to understand the prevailing atmosphere, shared believed values, and behaviors within the organization. It provides insight into the prevailing norms and practices that defines the work environment. Next is arises from routine organizational practice that are important to the organization and its members. The organizational climate is not a random occurrence but emerges from the regular and consistent practices within the organization. These practices could include communication patterns, decision-making processes, leadership styles, reward systems, and other aspects that are significant to the organizations and its members. Moving on to the types of organizational climate of school. The first one is open school climate. An open school climate refers to an environment within a school where certain qualities and behaviors are present. Open school climate is characterized by teacher relations that are professional, collegial, friendly, and committed to the education of students. This means that teachers interact with each other in a respectful and supportive manner, valuing teamwork and collaboration. The principal is supportive and professional and does not restrict or direct teachers with orders. Meaning to say, they do not restrict or control teachers through strict orders or excessive micromanagement. Instead, they trust and empower the teachers to make their own decisions and create a positive learning environment. Moving on to number two. So, closed school climate. Closed school climate refers to an educational environment where the relationship between the teachers and students are marked by disengaged, distant, suspicious, and not professional. In such a climate, teachers may not actively engage with their students, maintaining a sense of emotional detachment. They may also be skeptical of their students' abilities or motives, leading to a lack of trust and strained atmosphere. The principal is directive, restrictive, and not supportive. Meaning to say, this means that the principal tends to issue orders and instruction without reconsidering or considering the input or perspective of the teachers or other staff members. The principal's approach may be authoritarian, emphasizing controls and adherence to rules, rather than fostering collaboration and open communication. Now, let's moving on to the third one, or number three, healthy school climate. So, a healthy school climate refers to the overall atmosphere environment within a school that promotes a positive relationships, effective teaching and learning, and the well-being of all stakeholders involved. So, a healthy school climate is characterized by institutional integrity. Teachers are protected from disruptive outside forces, meaning it implies that the school administration ensures that external influences or disturbances do not hinder the teaching and learning process. By safeguarding teachers from such disruptions, the school creates a stable and supportive environment for effective education. The principal has influence with superiors, gets needed resources, and has an integrated leadership style that is concerned with both the task at hand and the social well-being of teachers. In a healthy school climate, the principal's influence with superiors, meaning they have a strong relationship with higher level administrator and can effectively advocate for the needs of the school. They also have the ability to secure the necessary resources required for effective teaching and learning. Moral is high, and there is a general press for academic achievement by teachers, parents, and students. Meaning to say, this indicates that there is a positive and optimistic attitudes prevalent in the school community. Teachers feel motivated, supported, and satisfied in their roles, which can have a positive impact on their teaching effectiveness. Furthermore, there is a general press for academic achievement by teachers, parents, and students. Now let's proceed to the last one, number four, the types of next is unhealthy school climate. Unhealthy school climate refers to an environment within a school that is not conducive to positive learning and growth. In this context, it means that the school is vulnerable to negative influence from external sources that can disrupt its functioning. An unhealthy school climate is vulnerable to disruptive outside forces. This means that when a school has negative or unhealthy environment, it becomes more susceptible to external factors that can disrupt its functioning. For example, if there's a lack of discipline, respect, or hostile atmosphere, it may be easier for outside influences like bullying, gang activity, or external conflicts to infiltrate the school and create further disruptions. Principals has little influence with superiors, resources are scarce, and the principals neither sets directions nor is supports teachers. This suggests that the principal of the school has limited authority or power when it comes to decision making and resource allocation. There may be struggles to influence their superiors, such as district administrators or schools boards, and as a result, they have a lack of necessary resources to effectively run the school. Additionally, the principals may fail to provide clear directions or supports to the teachers, which can further contribute to an unhealthy school climate. Moral is poor and there is limited attention to academic matters because the teachers had given up. Meaning to say that the overall moral or motivation among teachers is low. They may feel discouraged, demotivated, or disengaged from their work. As a consequence, there is a lack of focus and attention on academic matters such as lesson planning, student progress, or providing quality education. The teachers' lack of motivations and feeling of giving up can further contribute to negative atmosphere within the school. So I hope that ends my discussions. I hope you learned something. Thank you so much for listening. Keep safe and God bless everyone.